So thank you for all coming back for the rest of our program. We're going to do the Frontier Achievement Awards at this time. This year we have 2 recipients for the Frontier Achievement Award. First, I would like to introduce Shauna Grapantine. And Shauna's here. And Shauna, I would like you to stand up so people can see what you look like. Thank you. Shauna was born and raised in the community of Manigatogan. During her time at Wampagao School, she developed her love of art and showcased her creativity. After graduating, she decided to pursue advertising art at Red River Community College. She quickly realized this program wasn't for her and so moved home and worked as an EA for 4 years. During this time, she worked with students to develop their artistic abilities. She worked with a group of students to create sketching, painting, and pastel work of the 7 teachings. The 4 sets of artwork were created and 1 each given to the council offices of Seymourville and Manigatogan, and the band office in Hollowater, and 1 remained at the school. The students' work inspired her even more to continue pursuing her artistic dream. She began selling her artwork at local craft fairs, which gave her the confidence to continue to follow her dream. Over the years, she has worked with many schools and Frontier School Division, teaching the students and staff her craft. She has also done beautiful murals for schools in our division. She was commissioned to do pencil sketches for Bissett Gold Mine, as well as a mural for Reno, Nevada, for a mine down there. During the pandemic, Shauna developed her art business. She created an online shopping site and taught herself a designing program in order to reproduce her artwork on various items, some of which are showcased on the beautiful bags and mugs that you received today, as well as the bags that we received at the conference last year. She also used this time to develop her virtual sessions to continue to teach students and adults from afar. In March of 2023, Shauna's design was featured on a hockey stick for the International Ice Hockey Federation World Championship. There were 81 submissions from across Canada, and she was one of the 4 chosen. Shauna designed another commemorative hockey stick for the Warroad Hockey Day, Minnesota in 2024. Shauna has had a great impact on the art world, and we are all very proud to call her one of our own. Congratulations, Shauna. Please come up and accept your award.
Good evening, everyone, my fellow Frontier family and special guests. Back in 1998, Frontier established the Frontier Achievement Award to celebrate and honor the achievements of past graduates from the school division. A young girl at the tender age of 18, getting ready to graduate high school, had a thing for art. She took a chance at submitting a piece of artwork for the logo contest. Fast forward 27 years later, and here we are. I've made a complete full circle. As the winner and creator of the Frontier Achievement Award logo back in 1998, I am now standing before you as a proud recipient, truly honored and humbled. Thank you. I think my mom still has the old dinosaur computer that was gifted to me when I won the logo. It's a collectible, yeah. I've always referred to Frontier as my Frontier family. It's that feeling you get when you make a trip back home and you're amongst family and friends the genuinely warm feeling and the comfort. That's the feeling I get when we gather as members of the Frontier School Division. Whether you're a student, past student, teacher, principal, school board member, school committee member, an employee, or community member, it feels like family and it feels like home. A little bit about myself for those of you that don't know me. My name is Shauna Grapantine. I'm the daughter of a truly amazing lady, Dolores Billette, and my hardworking father, Dale Billette, both who have played a huge active role and have been proud members of the Frontier family for many years. Say hi, Mom and Dad. I'd also like to quickly introduce my special guests this evening at my table. I have my in-laws, Patty and Byron Grapantine. Say hi. I have my beautiful sister and my beautiful brother-in-law, Danielle and Gavin Smith, and my beautiful sister-in-law, Jordan Billette. I am the middle child of 7 siblings, 5 brothers and 1 sister. We were raised in the beautiful community of Manigatagan, my father's hometown, approximately 200 kilometers northeast of Winnipeg. I'm a proud member of the Hollow Water First Nation, Treaty 5 Territory, Southeast Region. I attended and graduated from Wanepegaw School Division in 1998. Growing up, I always loved to draw and be creative. Whenever there was an opportunity at school or within the community to take part in any form of the arts, I jumped in with no hesitation. I also grew up watching family members be creative. My mother would make all our Halloween costumes from scratch. She also kept all of us kids busy during the holiday season, creating crafts or decorating for community events. And she also enjoyed a little bit of folk art painting herself when time allowed. My father carves wood, soapstone, antlers, and does all sorts of carpentry. Each of my siblings are either musically or artistically inclined. I guess you can say we were blessed with great talented genes. My journey as an artist has had its highs and lows. Sometimes it was a closed door, not enough gigs or contracts, or simply not enough time to take on all the projects. But I never gave up. I kept going. I was always taught that if it's meant to be, the door will open and things will work out and roll along smoothly. If it's a struggle and nothing's working out, then it's probably not the path that you're meant to be on. I can't say that as a teen, I thought that I could become an artist and make a career of it. It wasn't exactly on the career list in high school. Different forms of it, yes, like an interior designer, architectural drafting, advertising, art, which I went into after high school. But to paint or draw and sell your artwork and make a career of it was not a high on the list. There's much truth to the term starving artist. And it has its financial struggles, definitely. There were days when I'd sell work and it'd be great. And then there were many days when I didn't sell nothing at all. At the end of the day, the bills still had to be paid, and life kept moving on whether you were ready for tomorrow or not. I had to get creative and figure out how to make a career doing what I loved. A career in the arts is very competitive. There are so many wonderful and great artists in the world. Learning how to stand out and develop my style as an artist was key to my success, along with hard work and determination. Art was always something I just did, really enjoyed, and discovered I was quite good at. Fresh out of high school, I couldn't see myself in a 4 to 7 year program at college or university. The city life wasn't for me. I loved the country, and I had different plans. I wanted to work, buy a car, travel, eventually marriage and a family. Over the years, I've learned that the goals of success come in many different forms. Happiness is success. If you're happy doing what you love, work hard, and are great at what you do, then that's success. I didn't have the university or college diploma, so naturally, my self-doubt told me that I didn't quite measure up or that I wasn't quite qualified. There were many days when I had self-doubt. I'd think to myself that I should stop painting and get a real job. So there were the times when I worked as a rec director, delivered bread, worked in a pharmacy filling prescriptions to help make ends meet. All the while, all I could think about was how much I wanted to be painting, drawing, and being creative. Many artists pursue a variety of jobs to help support their creative work. I did what I had to do to help contribute to the household income. As time went on, I would continue to practice, learn from my mistakes, and gain the confidence I needed to develop my artwork. I would take on commissioned art pieces, sell items at local craft fairs. I'd teach a paint class or two and book a school or community art program when I could. Then in 2010, I decided to register a small business so that I was doing things properly for tax purposes. It was then that Moon and Back Custom Arts was born and came to life. In the past 15 years, my vision as an artist and owning a small business has evolved. I'm so blessed and grateful for the opportunity to teach school and community art programs and paint sessions over the years. The ability to inspire, influence, and guide students and adults of all ages to explore and encourage creativity is absolutely incredible. Art is therapy. Not all students are academically inclined, and this doesn't mean they lack intelligence or potential. It simply means their strengths lie elsewhere. I get to help them discover a unique way of expressing themselves. And it brings me complete joy to see the smile on their faces when they've completed a piece of artwork that they didn't think they could do. As well, I continue to produce my artwork. From each piece, I've taught myself a designing program that helps create custom art products, pillows, tote bags, notebooks, just to name a few. The idea was to have many options for everyone to enjoy my artwork. I've had many wonderful opportunities to create and inspire people of all ages, teaching and learning as I go. I am proud of all the success in the school and community programs, along with the projects that I've been fortunate to be a part of within our communities, as well as across Canada and the United States. Representing my artwork at the Women's World Hockey Championships in 2023, selected as one of 4 artists from across Canada to design a player of the game hockey stick, was a huge highlight in my career as well. The ability to create art is wonderful. To inspire and teach others, all while doing what you love, is incredible. I'm thankful to the good Lord each and every day for the many blessings in my life. I have many people to thank for all their love and support over the years. The people who have believed in me, motivated me, and challenged me. My husband and my son, who are my world. My biggest supporters and also my biggest critics at times. My husband of 20 years has taken good care of me and our son. He has given me a life of many blessings, along with many headaches at times. It's what husbands do. A life that has allowed me to be home with our son as a small child. A life that has allowed us to travel and experience so much together as a family. A life where I was able to be creative and do my artwork, even when it didn't contribute to paying the bills all that much. He saw the passion I had for being creative and encouraged me to stay the course. My son Thomas, whom the sun rises and sets on, my pride and joy, he challenges me every day to be the best mother and role model I can be. My greatest fulfillment is seeing him grow into a fine young man and witnessing all his accomplishments. My loving and supportive parents, my biggest fans. They taught me to work hard and to be proud of who I am. My beautiful mother, her dedication to our family and her passion for education. She is the greatest advocate for children and has the biggest heart. She's a good cup of tea, a listening ear, my advice, my encouragement. She's my greatest inspiration in everything I do in life, and she's a darn good jigger too. My hard-working father, who is the jack of all trades. He can fix anything that he needs. He never complains, just gets it done. He's my dad, can you come fix this for me? He's a game of crib at the kitchen table. He's the guy that makes you laugh because of his quick wit and sense of humor. He's my protector, my strength, the man that I measure every man by. My in-laws, who have been there every step of the way, cheering me on, encouraging me, teaching me the ropes of running a business. Their hard work and dedication has taught me so much about life. My siblings, my beautiful sister, her passion and toughness for taking on life's challenges inspire me each day. She's my soundboard, my laugh with, my cry with, my be crazy with, and everything in between partner. My brothers have always been there watching over me, supporting me in everything I decided to do and tackle. And having gained sisters and a brother-in-law who have also been super supportive in everything I do. It's wonderful to have a large family. Growing up with a large family, the love, the laughter, the fighting, the competition, my forever friends. My Frontier family, Mr. Cam Giovadoni, who saw something in me back in high school. He was the first to talk me into traveling to schools within Frontier to teach art programs. Mr. Kindon, I think going to Duke of Marlborough School was the first art program I did. I had zero idea of what I was doing or how I was going to do it. The short story, the first art program turned into 10, and then eventually into 20, and now it has evolved up past the hundreds, inspiring all ages within Frontier across Canada and the US. Mrs. Shannon McIsaac, who has always been a big supporter of what I do, her persuading me to purchase a camera during COVID and practice teaching virtual paint sessions so that we could connect with more schools and students across Frontier. That was the start of the virtual paint sessions with Shauna Grapantine. Many of my teachers from Wanepegaw School, who I remain in contact with today, they taught me to believe in myself and gave me the tools to find what it was I loved to do and pursue it. In closing, I would like to say that Frontier has given me a solid foundation for the arts through many of the school's art programs and experiences. It was the strong base that I needed for beginning my journey. A strong support system of mentors, peers, and family which helped me develop the necessary skills and knowledge to build toward my goals with confidence. Frontier School Division is very personable and knows you by name. They know our communities and our small town lifestyles. They embrace the beauty of our northern heritage, our culture, and our people. I am proud to have been a part of Frontier School Division, and I'm truly honored to be accepting this amazing achievement award this evening. Thank you. Miigwech.
Thank you, Shauna. I think that truly says why we do what we do. She said it all. I would now like to introduce the second recipient of the Frontier Achievement Award, Lesie Daart. Lesie, would you stand, please? That's Lesie. Lesie is from the Opinapawan Cree Nation, South Indian Lake. He attended school there until grade 9, then continued high school in Winnipeg, graduating from Grand Park High in 1989. Lesie currently works as Chief Executive Officer for the Community Association of South Indian Lake. He also sits on the board for the South Indian Lake Fishermen's Association and is a steering committee member of the Waniskatan, which is an alliance of hydro-impacted communities. He has also been an outreach worker, a hunter and fishing guide, and a commercial fisherman, hunter, and a trapper. Lesie grew up on the shores of South Indian Lake. His vast knowledge of the history of South Indian Lake and the Churchill River Diversion Project and the Augmented Flow Program with Manitoba Hydro has fueled the passion to right the wrongs, to ensure that history does not repeat itself. He takes every opportunity to speak the truth about the history of the damage done to the lake and strives for the betterment of his community as well as neighboring First Nation communities. Lesie participated in the Clean Environment Commission, speaks at high schools and universities, worked on film projects regarding the lake, and traveled to New York City to speak at the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. Lesie is an advocate for the land, water, wildlife, giving a voice to the voiceless. A quote from his nomination package tells it all. To be a true leader is to be like Lesie Daart. The main outcome he expects from his advocacy is hope, perseverance, and prosperity for future generations. Congratulations, Lesie. Please come up and accept your award.
Wow. First of all, I'd like to thank Frontier School Division and the Board of Trustees for this achievement award and I guess recognition. I have a hard time blowing my own horn, as they say. I sometimes prefer to go to the heart of the matter. I also want to thank my lovely wife there, Esther, for nominating me for the award, but also reaching out to I guess what I'd call friends and colleagues over the years for my what I call education and advocacy for change with Manitoba Hydro and Manitoba. They have a lot of work to do. They're far from perfect or nice in some cases. But yeah, I'd also like to thank my family, my father, William Daart, my mother, Hilda Daart. My mother, I call my archive. She has an immense knowledge of our history, but also lineage. I mean, within seconds, she can, when it comes to naming people, go 2 or 3 generations as far as knowing people's family tree. And if you give her 10 seconds, she can probably go 4 or 5. I mean, it's amazing to listen to her. And my expert, my father, I'd like to give a huge thanks to. With his teachings and my learning from him off the land, I guess brought me to this time on our story, our journey. with that combination of schooling within the Frontier system, it was a challenge to go through the Frontier system, but I am proud of it. I left the community after grade 9 because that's as far as our community school went, and being only 16 years old, basically into the jungle of Winnipeg, living in the home placement program. I had the opportunity to talk to Commissioner Ross, who I lived with their parents in the first year, 87, 88. She didn't think I'd remember, but I remembered more than her. We're going to have a chat there, Commissioner, about some impacts on Indigenous rights and treaties. Anyway, that combination of traditional learning and formal education gives me the strength to try and educate, but also advocate for change, as I said before. Our community, to give a brief, people who know me, my family is there wondering, and people who heard me speak, I could stand here for 2 or 3 hours with barely taking a breath to tell you the failings of Manitoba Hydro and Manitoba and what needs to be done. Because there's opportunity for change. We just need to have the right players at the table and implement that change. But I also want to take the opportunity to challenge the Board of Trustees and the school committee members here. Because you are decision makers of our education of our youth, our next leaders. And we need to, I would challenge to incorporate the real history of Manitoba Hydro development in this province. Because the history you've heard and learned in school is not accurate. There's a lot of mistruths and even falsehoods, I would say. When you look back and past what you have learned, like from my community, I can speak directly to, I mean, we were forced to relocate in our community. Our homes were burned down or dismantled. Our traditional camps, based on our local economy of fishing, were burned. And this is all in my lifetime. With the exception of the younger generation here, it's in your lifetimes. This is the Manitoba Hydro I know and the Manitoba I know. But there is opportunity for change, not to be negative here. I don't see it yet. But we need to educate the younger generations because there is a new wave of development coming through that plans to plug into our misery, the misery of the Churchill River Diversion Project. Now, a lot of the communities are either hydro-impacted or neighbors of hydro-impacted communities or know somebody from a hydro-impacted community. And when you have frank discussions with them, you realize the impacts that Manitoba Hydro has to people, communities, our very culture and our language. That is being taken away from many thousands of Indigenous children and people who live in northern communities. Our community was very heavily reliant on natural resources, that being fishing. It was the 3rd largest fishery in North America. Small remote community in northern Manitoba was the 3rd largest fishery. In today's dollars, a multi-million-dollar fishery, almost wholly Indigenous driven. That is gone now. Last year was the very first year our community did not fish commercially after 82 years of at times prosperity and growth, but for the last few decades of decline. That needs to change, and it can change if we find the balance between development, education, and progress. We are people too. So again, the challenge to incorporate the real history needs to be brought to our future leaders. I know my history. A lot of my peers, of my age group I should say, throughout Manitoba do not know the real history of hydro development and how destructive it continues to be. It wasn't a one-time event, the flooding of our lake, the relocation of our community. It has been ongoing for over 50 years. Manitoba Hydro has been allowed too much influence on Indigenous communities and impacts. That needs to change. I do hear words of reconciliation, but without immediate action, that word rings hollow, and there will be resistance. And through that, with education, we can make an informed decisions for future projects, but also give positive hope to the communities that are impacted. Very soon, you will hear words like reconciliation, consultation, Section 35 of the Constitution. Most of our younger people don't know the meaning of these words. We have to educate them so they can make informed decisions on projects, on their own future. My community hasn't had control of its own destiny for over 60 years now, due to the influence of industry and at times poor governance by Manitoba and even Canada. Again, we can change that. I don't want my message to be negative, but I will never apologize for speaking the truth. Only by dealing with the truth can we affect and implement positive change. I'm very happy to know that there's at least 3 ministers, I believe, here. They need to affect that change, but they also need to be educated on the reality. Relying on Manitoba Hydro for information is a huge mistake, a huge mistake. The challenge to Frontier I would give is to incorporate the reality of communities such as mine, the hardships they've had to endure. We're being forced to sacrifice our future, our children, for hydro development. That can change though. So we can make informed decisions for betterment. Very soon, you might hear about the final license for the Churchill River diversion, and that's coming up in effect September 1st, 2026. Manitoba Hydro and Manitoba government have had 50 years to get ready for that date. They are not ready. You will hear things like short-term license extensions. Those are admissions of failure. Our younger generations and the people in this room need to learn what those mean to the communities that are impacted. Right now, like I said, they are admissions of failure. They have about a year to try and implement positive change. I've seen no indications that they desire change. I've actually seen clear indications that they want status quo. One of their first actions will be short-term license extensions. Those will be met with resistance. And they should be, because they are admissions of failure. Failure to honor our promises, to honor their word. Nothing, I'll go back, again, I can speak for hours on the subject. Swing here and there, but South Inland Lake had influence on the outcomes of election. 1969, the Progressive Conservative Party at the time was proposing the Churchill River diversion. And it was only through education, members of the University of Manitoba, professors, and working with the community where we got the message out, this is wrong. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have happened. It didn't need to happen. It became a project of arrogance. It still remains that way because at times the Churchill River diversion is not needed or can be mitigated. It's not. See, these words like mitigation, our youth, our future leaders need to understand what that means. That information should not come from industry. They are the wrong people to do it. They are proven time and time again. Those words mean nothing to them. It should not be driven by the provincial government because they have proven time and time again. They only use those words when it's convenient, when they have a desire for another project. So, the challenge. I'm hoping we can have a further discussion. We've already talked to one of the trustees about education, possibly. and learn the real history, not the one that's sold by the Crown Corporation called Manitoba Hydro. You know, obviously I'm emotional, but it's our reality. You know, you talk to the leaders like Chief Descharmes, there's not a lot positive going on in our communities, and I believe a lot of the smaller communities, hydro-impacted communities, can relate and share stories. We're losing our young people. We're losing our culture. We're losing our language. And the success stories are at times few and far between. But that can change. We can do that through education. The theme of this conference is community engagement. That should be rooted in education. Truth, I'm told at times I live in an area of reconciliation. Well, without truth, how can you have reconciliation? Truth should be grounded in education, the real history of our province, and how that can change for the better. Consultation. It's supposed to be entrenched in the Constitution of Canada of 1982. Manitoba has an obligation, has a duty to do proper and meaningful consultation with meaningful accommodation. They fail miserably at it, the past successive governments. We can change that if we educate our leaders of tomorrow. But we're running out of time. Manitoba Hydro and the Manitoba government have about a little over a year to set up a plan for Section 35 consultation, for the, I'll say, review of the Churchill River Diversion Final License. They don't have the time. But if we want the word reconciliation to mean something, it should come with immediate change. There's a balance that can be struck. We're not asking for Manitoba Hydro or Manitoba government to go away. We're neighbors. Let's act like neighbors. So, you know, I want to leave things on a positive note, but you know, our reality is not positive, and I have to take this opportunity to share that knowledge. We've lost too many of our youth and our younger generations due to the actions of Manitoba Hydro, under the lax oversight of Manitoba. I'm not trying to beat up the ministers in the room. They're a relatively new government. I've had some discussions with them, hope to have more. But they need to come forward. They need to step up. We have and we will continue to do so and step up. Sure, I'll try and close off. I don't know how long I've been talking, but I can hold the audience captive if I usually do. But anyway, having that education base with Frontier School, I am proud of that. It was challenging. I mean, we lived in interesting times, being not taken away in a sense, but moving away from your family at the young age of 16, facing the challenges of Winnipeg, which gladly, those ones at that time were a bit more positive. But having that balance with the knowledge that my parents taught me, my community taught me. We were a fishing community, very proud people, very resilient. But for the last 50 plus years, we've been attacked. We've been under attack. And people of my father's generation, my mother's generation, my generation, and the fewer ones after us, our culture is being taken away. So we need to give the youth of today the tools so that can change, so they can have a better future. And through that, we do it through education. You know, in the South here, they say education is the new buffalo. Our community relied on Lake Whitefish, 1 million pound fishery annually, sustainably. Maybe for our northern communities, whitefish is the new buffalo. Sorry, education is the new whitefish. But we can bring our whitefish back. I know we can if we try hard and we take meaningful action and give meaning to those words of reconciliation, consultation, action. Let's learn from our mistakes and move forward. And the challenge, maybe it's not a challenge, the opportunity that Frontier School Division has to give our future leaders an education grounded in reality, to move forward in a positive, a balanced future. That's what I think we need to do. So once again, I think I'll leave it at that because I can go on and on and on. Let's take that as an opportunity, not as a challenge, because challenges sometimes build barriers. Let's knock over those barriers and look at opportunities where we can give our future generations enough knowledge to make informed decisions and find a balanced and prosperous future. Thank you very much. I did forget one thing. I have some information at table 22 that tells our story, but also gives some sort of up-to-date information on some of the project. It's called Got Power, Think. But I'll quote from it: if you got power, you can make a difference. Education is power.
Thank you, Lesie. I really appreciate your comments. A lot of us share your experience. Like, we're also a hydro-impacted community, right? And that history needs to be taught to our kids, and we see it every day in our communities, the effects of that. So I really appreciate your comments. So thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to ask Tammy up. We're going to move on with the rest of our agenda, and I know that outside those doors are some really excited young people that just can't wait to get in here. So Tammy, let them in.
A huge congratulations to our Frontier Achievement Award winners. And now we get to move on to what brings each and every one of us to the Frontier family, the heart of our Frontier family, our students. And because I know you don't want to listen to me tonight at the mic, I'm not a mic person, but I happen to know 3 amazing young ladies who are. So I'm going to welcome your MCs for this evening to join me here on stage. I have the privilege of introducing to you Nora Chartrand, who's joining us from Frontier Collegiate. As well as Ricky Sanderson and Katie Tate, who are joining us from Helen Betty Osborne in a new education resource center. And these young women standing here with me have already accomplished